All right, looks like we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the awesemo.com live before lock show. Look, as we're dealing with a bunch of new shows here as we build out our network, but check out the deeper dive, guys. They'll be on every day now at about what time do we say, Josh? 1:30 Eastern, or no, 4:30 Eastern.
Yeah,
Sorry.
on big slates it'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of 4:30 to 4:45.
Yeah.
It's a weird slate today too.
Yeah, so we're figuring out the timing of things, but hey, we're here now. That's all that matters. We got every game on the slate today. You've had a day full of content preparing you for this moment in which we are entering the fray, digging deep on all the things that we have to learn about with pitchers and stacks. I'm Chris Spags, joined by the Chubster, Josh Engelman. Josh, how are you doing on this fine Tuesday, which feels like a Monday to me, but is not for you?
Yeah, I'm good. I've been just cruising through it today. Just tons of content one way or the other. I feel pretty good about the slate now.
Yeah, so if you are premium.com, we have some new content up. Awesemo is back from a very short vacation. The man cannot take enough days off for himself. He just has to get back to the grind in the world of DFS. But his article is up now for premium members if you want. Is it top stack percentage today? I forget.
It is top stack percentage.
There we go. It is top stack percentage today. So go check that out now. Go join the site. Of course, also, we are gearing up for NFL. Josh put in the premium chat on Slack for all of our members of Awesemo and the former Van Vice people a little bit of an NFL schedule, but we're hammering that out as well. We'll have live before lock shows on Sunday and some more premium content and strategy related content that'll be free. Me coming out on Thursday, back as well, coming first piece, which he did today, I think, about the Thursday slate.
Yes, it's about the prime. So it's going to be a feature on primetime games that happen every week. So there'll be an article on the Thursday slate, which is posted, and then there'll be one that's talking about like Sunday primetime and Monday primetime.
There you go. So that's some of the NFL content. We'll obviously preview more of it on here as we go. Stephen Taylor complaining about Robot Mike. Robot Mike is now officially not a programming problem with the various things that we have in play here, but I am on a new microphone. So if I sound a little different, that's why. Also using an AirPod in my left ear, which gives Josh a really vibe right into my eardrums. So sure, that's great today. What are you doing though? Cruncher up, Josh. What are you doing stack wise tonight?
Yeah, so my main priorities are across 5 teams. Rockies, Angels, Nats, Pirates, and Red Sox. And I have assorted amounts of others, but those are the teams that I'm dramatically over the field on.
I noticed you didn't say the White Sox.
I'm just with the field on the White Sox. I'm not like mashing them or anything.
Because I am very with the White Sox. I want to with you on that, but I guess if you're with the field, I can't that much. I like the White, price-wise, to make a lot of things work. I think them, especially with one of my other favorite stacks, which the deeper dust at length as well. St. Louis, I think those two stacks allow you to pretty much go wherever you want at pitcher, and I happen to like both of them a lot. What are you doing? I guess, how do you feel about both those stacks, and if they're not one of your top 5?
I didn't hear the teams you said.
White Sox and Cardinals.
I think you said White Sox and Cardinals there. So yeah, White Sox, I'm just neutral with the field. Cardinals, just a notch under the field. I actually have a decent amount of Fede, so I'm not totally targeting the Cardinals.
Decent amount of Fede, really?
Yeah.
What puts you on him?
His price, more than anything else. 5,300. I think we want to switch to Skype if we can.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I'll do.
So while Chris is switching to Skype, I'll walk through again my main stacks: Rockies, Angels, Nats, Pirates, Dodgers, Red Sox. Those are the top 6. I think I'm counting that right. Yes, top 6 of the teams that I'm looking at, and that's just in terms of percentage over the field. I have quite a bit of Indians and White Sox. I have a decent amount of Diamondbacks, but this is just putting me with the field. Those are the teams that I'm taking my biggest stand on. So that's where I'm at right now from a stack perspective. We also have pitching to take a look at once I get Chris back on here right now. Or not. Not quite yet. So for pitching, I have seen the light. I am going to German Marquez in bundles. Jake and I talked about it. There's Chris now. What's up? I cannot hear you. And now my screen is gone. Going great so far. I can't hear you at all. And my screen is no longer sharing. Going great. So I'm on darkness. I hope everybody can hear me. I'll keep talking. Big time going on German Marquez. 26% expected ownership for me. And we're only projecting 6, so I'm way over the field. Much like Adam and Laffy, I have decided to take a stand against Robbie Ray, capping my ownership at 10%, coming in way under the field. I just would rather have the leverage of Marquez on GPP. Hopefully we can get this taken care of. This is becoming a bit of an issue. Yeah, I assumed you guys could hear me perfectly. We get Spags back.
Yeah, so basically I went on there, fortunately because we didn't have time to practice going live on Skype with my new mic. It was like, hey, update some drivers. So Skype instantly crashed, but we're now back to the old way for now.
And now I need to get my monitor back. It's not allowing me to capture my main screen.
Oh, that's fun. Well, you know, the important thing is we're here now. Now we can talk. Tell Spags again, Infinity. I have a very fast internet connection that's 500 megabytes per second. For some reason, my MacBook just has issues with streaming on certain protocols. I don't know why, guys. I try. We are going to do home run picks in 5 minutes, though, now that I'm back. Josh is working on his screen. You know, chaos brings out the best in us, I would say, right?
Chaos is bringing out something, that's for sure.
It's yeah, we've changed a lot of things at once. Unfortunately, when you institute a bunch of new variables, as any good scientist will tell you, the experiment can get corrupted. So hey, what can you do?
You are currently off my screen on purpose so that I can try and get my display back, and then I will work to get you back. Okay. So now screen is back. That's a good step in the right direction. Now let's bring you back.
We can hear Chris better, even though Chris is now back on his laptop and not on the microphone, which costs $300. I'm just gonna, guys. One day there's gonna be a live stream where it's just me jumping off a cliff, like Wile E. Coyote.
Oh, this is fantastic. Yeah, so I can't capture anything on my screen right now that's on my leftmost monitor. So this might be you only see Josh and hear Chris stream, so enjoy.
Just the disrespect just keeps piling on today on this stream, but we'll persevere as best we can.
Actually, perfect. Now I've got you on the screen. Not in the way that I would have liked, but it's gonna work for us.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll eventually see it on YouTube. Sure.
You'll laugh.
Great.
It's like the preview window in Skype.
Okay. It's like we're doing a music video where you're calling me on the video. Now I'm talking into the microphone even though I'm not using the microphone. I'm just gonna I'm going back on vacation, guys. Let's talk pitchers though. Before all these technical issues started, you mentioned Eric Fede. I hate Eric Fede. I'm stacking against him vehemently. He's very bad versus righties. I'm sure you have some data which will make me question my decision. Why are you going with Eric Fede, and why don't you love the Cardinals as much as I do?
I mean, I'm going to Eric Fede simply because he's 5,300, and I don't really see the alternative. I'm not going to go to Liriano, who's got 10% expected ownership. So I think paying down for Fede is a reasonable spot. I don't love it. Like, I'm not super happy about it, but I think he's the guy that does the least amount of damage to me. Hopping over to the Cardinals now. It's just a lot of righties. Only lefty in the lineup is Matt Carpenter. So I'm willing to take my chances there. Fede profiles as a decent pitcher, and I'm willing to like forgo people's strikeout upside when they're cheap, because I don't need Fede to go crazy to provide me enough value, and he's just sort of a conduit to get to, someone like Verlander.
All right, I guess I could live with that. To me, like I think the Cardinals have been coming in; they've been hitting really well. Pretty much everybody, but Ozuna has been having a pretty decent run there for them at the top of the order. Fede, the games that he has had this year hasn't been that great. Versus righties, there are a lot of righties in the lineup. Fede, a somewhat limited sample size, but not super duper limited. Versus righties has been really, really bad. Just getting particularly knocked around by them. So I like the lineup. I like everything about their ownership as well. The Cardinals to me just graded out really well. Were one of my favorite stacks on the day. I'm trying to think of what other ones I had that you didn't mention, because now that was like 10 minutes ago.
I don't have a problem with the Cardinals. I just don't have a lot.
All right, that's
and
fair.
There's too many teams that I prefer for me to get to everybody, basically.
Sure. All right. I guess we should do home run picks right now. It is almost 6:30 Eastern time. That is our prime time for picking home runs. Jake is still in the lead by 1 home run, just 1 up on me. Josh,
did you get Jake's home run from yesterday morning? I don't know if that should count or not. I said it should.
I don't think it should. It's got to be, there at least has to be 2 out of 3 of us who put it in at the same time, I think would be the rule of thumb.
Okay, well then we get it, because it was he and I.
Oh. Well, but at the morning show, it shouldn't count at all. It's always been a live before lock thing. We can't just start giving out willy-nilly.
I mean, it was live before lock. I mean, the morning slate yesterday for Labor Day was bigger than the main slate.
I would say no, that doesn't count.
Look, I don't want to give it to him, but I counted it.
No, I'm normally pretty generous with counting them, but I feel like I didn't even have access to that. Like, wasn't even playing the morning slate. I mean, I was off also.
Well, that's your fault.
I don't think that should be.
Jake doesn't have to be in this chat right now. What's the difference?
No, he doesn't, but we all prepare for the slate. I'm not preparing for an East Coast slate on a holiday.
Yeah. Well, you moved to the East Coast.
Nope, I'm not counting it. Sorry, as the keeper of the spreadsheet, I'm not counting it. We can file it under protest and revisit it at the end of the year. But currently, I'm refusing to count it.
Now I got to cheer for Jake to win just out of principle.
Good, you can do that. I mean, it does. When you're in last place, you can cheer for whoever you want. It's like being a fan in a game. There's only 2 teams playing.
That hurts me so.
But yeah, unfortunately, if you guys updated the spreadsheet more, I'd be willing to give it to you. But as the one person who's updated spreadsheet, not allowed.
Okay, you got to give me at least some credit for doing it for the first 2 months.
That was like the first couple of weeks, and then you're like a goldfish. Your attention gets diverted, and then it just stops.
I'm too busy doing everything else.
Goldfish. But Jake, since he made a home run pick most recently, can make a pick if he wants in the chat. You can go first.
Yeah, Jake is in the chat, and he is not a happy camper.
No, it's tough shit. We could hash it out tomorrow on this live stream, Jake. We'll bring some Howard Stern-esque drama to the live stream.
While Jake does that, we've got something to plug. Okay. And I think this could be pretty interesting. Let's head to the Thursday night, or the Thursday schedule. Here's what we're going to do. If I get to this Thursday schedule at any point in time. Oh yeah, a lovely 3-game main slate. I wanted to get a game that will matter enough. Okay, here's what we will do. The Wednesday slate, tomorrow's slate, relatively large. Looks like we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 gamer. Who's the best pitcher on this slate? Okay, Michael Kopech going for the White Sox tomorrow against the Tigers. If you are interested in a free full all-access month at awesemo.com, what I would like you to do is predict Michael Kopech's FanDuel points to the 10th of a point. Closest person to that number in the comments section of the YouTube video today or tomorrow will receive a free all-access month to awesemo.com. Michael Kopech's fantasy points on FanDuel. FanDuel is the key. Winner gets a free month.
There you go. So FanDuel people, you are in the catbird seat for this, but yeah, get your picks in for that, and Hey, well, free memberships. Nice. We have some free memberships to give away. Jake did not put his home run pick in, unless Giolito and Musgrove is his home run pick, which are in fact 2 pitcher last names and not a hitter. So Jake is now
gotta be in the comments of the video, not in this chat.
Yeah. Yeah, in the chat it goes away. So leave it in the comments of the video right now. Don't paste it in the chat. Don't keep pasting it in the chat. Please stop pasting in the chat. Oh, Jesus Christ. Specificity is key here.
Yeah. Kinda.
All right, let's just do the home run pick since Jake's not getting. Jake will get to when he gets to it. Who's your pick?
Jesus, haven't even looked at it. If I had to go with a home run pick for today, I'm gonna get real weird. But I have a feeling that I'm going to be right. So, nope, he hits too far down. I don't feel like I'm gonna be right any longer. Remix.
What a great couple of minutes though, or seconds you had of feeling that you were going to be right.
I was really confident, but I thought he was hitting higher in the order, and I just don't trust it when people hit lower than that.
The baseball savants pick is in. He's going with Manny Machado, and this pick will count because it'll be on the spreadsheet.
That's a terrifying pick. I'm nervous about that.
Going against Jason Vargas. How could you go against that guy?
You know what's really funny? I was just thinking about trolling him with an Orioles pick, and I was like, damn, they have a really low total. Machado's not on the Orioles anymore, Josh, you dummy. Now I'll troll him, and I'll go Brian Dozier.
Ooh, all right. I'm going to go with Matt Davidson.
I like it.
There we go. I'm going against Lindor. That is my strategy for the entire slate. Going against Francisco Lindor. And now the picks are in.
Are you trying to say Francisco Liriano?
Wait, what?
Were you attempting to say Francisco Liriano?
I did. Did I say Liriano? I got distracted.
You said Lindor.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Liriano. Sorry.
I was like, shit, if Lindor starts pitching, I'll take dongs off of him too.
I'm looking at the spreadsheet right now, and I think I just saw Lindor as one of them.
Yeah, you're good.
Jeffrey Lanier, I can only comment in here. You can comment on the video. I guess they can comment on the video now, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah, there's a comment section.
Yeah, just you can figure it out. We trust in your brain power to find the comment section, but there is a comment section on the video in addition to the live chat.
I don't know if I can bring that up while I'm in it right now, but it certainly exists.
Brian Dozier. All right. The thing too is, like, if you guys had put it on a spreadsheet, I would have been totally fine with it. But I feel like it's got to be on the spreadsheet. It's just got to be on the spreadsheet now. It's too close.
I had too much other shit going on.
No, but Jake, if he's that passionate about his home runs, if he really wants to win the crown of dongs, you should be on that spreadsheet going balls out.
Well, I'll be damned. There's really not a way to leave a comment on this shit.
While it's I guess live. When the video's over.
Alrighty. Hold on.
Everybody tweet Josh with Michael Kopech's score, and he'll keep track.
All right, we'll figure out a fix to this. I don't know why there's not a comment section on this video.
The best laid plans.
Whatever. The final question will come out tomorrow, people. Be ready.
There you go. Let's talk more about pitchers. We haven't touched on them enough. What are we doing for pitchers tonight besides Eric Fede, which, as discussed, not a good pick according to me.
Yeah.
According to us.
So I've joined Adam and Jake. I am all over Herman Marquez today, multiple times over the field. Robbie Ray is the guy that I'm giving a haircut from an ownership perspective. So I'm getting to Verlander because I just think that he's too good. I'll have some Clevenger. Robbie Ray, not so much. But Herman Marquez is the guy that I'm most over the field on. Jake has made me a believer. I'm also at 30, just under 30% of Luke Giolito. I kind of want to have more, and I'm thinking about upping my personal ownership for him just to get there. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. But big Giolito fan for today.
I like Giolito. I don't know that I love Giolito at 23% ownership, in which everybody in the industry wide, like I think the deeper dive guys spent a decent chunk of it. The Slack chat too are again a premium member of Osmo.com or an old premium member of FanDuel. You can join the premium chat on Slack in which people are kind of exchanging ideas back and forth. It's also someone commenting in there about how Giolito's like changeup has really changed, and he's getting like several inches more movement on a couple of different pitches. I feel like there's a little too much Giolito hype tonight, and I've been on the Giolito train his last couple starts. but I'm off it today. I get the reasons why. I get Detroit. I don't know. I just didn't get there for my lineups. With you on Marquez, though. Marquez, I think, is in a really good matchup. He's been really fantastic. Again, watch that deeper dive video. The guys kind of break that down at length, why Marquez has been particularly good recently. So I'm with you there. Who else? Who else was on the top of my list? Rich Hill, I think, is a guy you didn't mention, who I think is in a good spot at kind of an awkward price, but he's been really striking guys out really well. Mets been pretty bad. I mean, they are bad in general. And I think Hill's a guy who always gets a little overlooked. The ownership is there tonight, but still relative to some other guys. I think he's got some potential.
Yeah, look, I have him. I'm not particularly excited about it. He's just kind of there for me.
What are you doing with Robbie Ray tonight?
I only have 10%, so I'm essentially fading. I have 1/3 of his exposure.
And not going against him at all either?
I don't remember who they play.
I have a couple one-off FanDuel raises. Yeah, they play the Padres.
Yeah, you could chase yesterday's home runs.
FanDuel has been good all year. Look at the season-long numbers.
I have no Padres.
Yeah, no, I get. There have been a lot of touts about FanDuel Reyes after he had 2 home runs yesterday, I think. But yeah, I think he's just been good all year. I actually play FanDuel a decent amount whenever I want to go with try to leverage something with a pitcher going against the Padres. FanDuel gets 2 at-bats. Yeah, but he's been productive with those 2 at-bats. So you're playing a narrow game with a cheap guy.
Did I have any friend? I probably had 1%.
I get a little taste of FanDuel.
Yeah, 1%.
I think it makes sense. I mean, I think definitely a one-off to me on that Padres lineup makes sense given Ray's propensity. If you're not going to play Ray, give him his propensity to give up home runs. I mean, he's either striking guys out or he's giving up a home run. I think, and also, some of the things that in Arizona as well that, again, the guys on the deeper dive talked about at length. I just happened to listen to that before starting this, so I guess all their information is fresh in my head. But yeah, I don't know. I think that there are sort of some reasons to go against Ray, and if you are going to go against Ray, I think Reyes would be the guy to do it with. But, yeah, we'll see. Could just be point chasing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind like Renfroe probably. Freddie Galvis is the one getting gas. 8% expected ownership. I just think the Padres suck, so I don't really want to have them unless they just show up in like a random lineup.
Why are we not talking about New York? Marco, do you mean the Mets or the Yankees? I assume you're going to mean the Yankees. Why are we not talking about the Yankees going against a bullpen game for Oakland?
I mean, that's a really difficult ballpark. Look, I have some Yankees. Just double check. Yeah, so like I have a little bit, as does the field. It's nothing appealing. I'm switching to it now on screen. So everything's reversed for me right now, so I'm having trouble like looking to where I'm supposed to look. Because for the past 5 months, I've looked in one direction and not the other. But, Oakland's ballpark is a really difficult ballpark for hitting. I mean, it doesn't really matter to Stanton, but Yankees have a 4.2 run implied total. A bullpen game is harder to deal with than just dealing with an average starter. Everybody gets to throw a little bit harder, do a little bit better. So, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's a pretty easy call to not have a lot of Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, the team total being low, and I think in general, I've noticed like the bullpen games seem to drive down team totals a little bit. So, I mean, I don't know that that's just because they tend to produce lower scores, and that's like a Vegas thing that's being accounted for, or that it's just that, teams don't really know how to deal with it, or bettors don't know how to deal with it quite as well. But for me, I mostly have avoided bullpen games, so we happen to have a couple of them on the slate. But I don't know. Like Jake points out too, Oakland's bullpen's pretty good. I mean, most bullpens are going to be pretty good if you put them in positions to succeed, and that's kind of the strategy for the game. So I think that's reason enough for me to not go Yankees tonight.
Yeah. Look, if you want to use Stanton, his power carries to any ballpark on the planet, but otherwise, it's just not the spot for the Yanks. So, cue the Yankees scoring 15 tonight.
Somebody asking, what am I missing on FAM ownership? His projections are highly insane. Greek Kings asking that. FAM, a popular play lately, or a good hitter since Alex picked him for a home run. I don't know what the correlation is. I actually like the Rays a little bit. I like that 2, 3, 4 in their lineup. I think it's a good matchup for them as well. So I don't mind FAM, but why do you think, Josh, the ownership is a little bit higher on FAM than it might be expected?
Really good price point. righty-lefty matchup, hitting second. That sort of just checks off all the boxes. 4.5 run implied total. Like, that's not great, but on this slate where no one really has this ridiculously high implied total, I don't have a problem with using Pham. I'm a little surprised because he's an outfielder. I would expect that sort of ownership at a more premium position, but I like it. Like, I'm not going to chase 24% owned Tommy Pham on FanDuel or anything, but I understand why people would go to him.
And the matchup versus Barucki, as Josh mentioned, it is an opposite-handed matchup. Barucki does struggle versus righties a bit, noticeably worse. He doesn't give up a ton of home runs against either side of the plate, but he does give up a lot more walks and hits and doesn't strike out guys quite as much. So, I think overall it does make sense to go with Pham in that perspective. And again, Pham, Duffy, and Crone, I think, is an interesting 3-man stack to pair with a 5 or a 4, and a 1. Let's see. Anything good? Royals are going to upset Cleveland. The Royals been pretty good lately, and we're actually a winning stack, I think, on Friday. What are you doing with the Royals tonight, and if anything?
Hoping that they don't show up. They're not a viable team today.
Are you playing Clevenger against them?
Yes.
What ownership?
I had 16% on my last crunch, but I'm just about done this last one, so I'll be able to let you know in a couple seconds. But no, I mean, I don't. Even if I had 0 Clevenger, I want 0 Royals.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Royals have been hitting a little better lately. I mean, it seems like they were due to have to hit a little better given that, they've been so bad all year. But yeah, not a place I would be going to tonight, even though Clevenger does get beaten up sometimes. So I get why you'd want to go there. Let's see. Dozier, people just doing either ors. Braves bats. What about the Atlanta side of that equation tonight?
Yeah, about those Braves bats. It's kind of
your boys.
Yeah, my boys. No Braves bats for me whatsoever. I don't want to talk I just don't see the value. No one's owning Porcello. I don't think the Braves are in a particularly good spot. So if you want to use Freddie Freeman in a one-off, have at it because he is basically not owned. But other than that, just doesn't seem like a spot that naturally I would get to.
Wait, is Porcello pitching? Zach James said, Porcello isn't pitching anymore. Did he get scratched? I didn't see that.
When did that happen?
I don't know. Zach says, yeah, Josh Porcello isn't starting.
Starting everywhere else that I see.
What are you looking at, Zach? Hector Velasquez is? Yeah, King Yeeman says he got scratched too.
Wait, like recently?
Yeah, I presume so. Hour ago?
I haven't seen this.
I hadn't either until I just saw it in chat, but I was just watching those guys before us, so I
still haven't seen it.
Vegas.
He's listed on other sites that I look at.
Give us some sources, chat. Back up your reporting.
Okay, now Greek Ink is saying it, and I know that he's not fucking with us.
No, not all those guys are regulars who are saying it. It's not anybody who would be trolling us.
Look, I don't know where anybody's seeing that, but it is nowhere. So does anybody mind dropping a tweet in where you're seeing that? Because it's nowhere that anyone else looks at. Just FYI. I'm not checking DraftKings. They're the provider. They are not my source of information.
They do a good job with news, though. But I don't
care who's starting. No, I don't want the Braves regardless.
Well, what if it's Hector Velasquez? What if?
I don't give a shit if it's Hector Velasquez. I don't have Porcello, and I don't have the Braves, and I'm not going to have Porcello, and I'm not going to have the Braves. I don't care if Velasquez is starting.
Let's see.
He's not starting on MLB.com. He's not starting on other places.
Porcello got bumped to the 12 p.m. game tomorrow on the site that I check.
So a link.
And then
Velasquez is starting on Wednesday.
No, Velasquez is starting today at 7:35, 9-4.
Here's a link from 6 minutes ago on CBS. Velasquez will start Wednesday in Atlanta.
I'm putting a link in the chat to the Vegas site. Actually, no, I don't know if I can post it, but let's see if it'll allow this link. Oh, yeah. Well, it's from the Osmo handle. You can see there, though, it is Velasquez on this Vegas site.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's Porcello.
Definitely says 9-5 Porcello, 9-4 Velasquez.
That CBS article just came out right now.
Maybe they missed the news.
6 minutes ago from the RotoWire staff. Velasquez starting tomorrow. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
I mean, it does matter in the context of the slate. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's playing Porcello. Velasquez starting today. Porcello is.
You guys got to stop getting your information from DraftKings and FanDuel. They're not in the business of giving you something that has to be correct.
I'm telling you, on the Vegas site I use, though, for run totals,
Yeah,
one of them.
I've been to Vegas Insider before. I'll take RotoWire's tips here.
Okay.
It's not on any other website. It's not on ESPN. It's not anywhere else.
It's on Twitter.
It's not on Twitter. In any form or fashion of anybody that I've followed that gives any information regarding baseball.
Seems like quite the conundrum for.
So if it's out, it hasn't come out to the public yet on any normal Twitter site.
Porcello just got taken out of the FanDuel lineup. Velasquez is in now. Well, all right, guys. Either way, I would say exercise some caution on your Porcellos, your Velasquezes, and your Braves. Seems like there's some different news out there, different debates.
Yeah, Nesson at 6:30. Rick Porcello takes the mound. Rob Bradford, Rick Velasquez tomorrow. So you guys can go ahead and start Velasquez and enjoy your zeros.
Either way, this is the importance of double checking things before you for lock, especially making sure that you have the information correctly, because sometimes you can't trust your providers. Sometimes you can. Just make sure you're checking multiple sources and landing on them. But Greek Ink, you're probably right. Neither one is worth playing. That is the end sum of it all.
Yeah, but don't ever use DraftKings and FanDuel as the information source.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care if they're right.
I do think they care a little. Like DK is invested in reporters and stuff to try to get news first, and they beat ESPN sometimes on some roster things, which I find impressive. So I don't want to discredit them. I do think they do a good job, but who knows? But double check everything always would be my double check everything. Even things we tell you, double check fucking everything.
It's Tuesday, right? Like, I'm not stupid.
It's Tuesday 9/4.
Kevin Z in our Slack chat just keeps giving me more information about Velasquez starting tomorrow, but I feel like he's trying to tell me that it's today. Kevin Z, which I assume is now Kevin Zoe in the chat, and that's what I should say. So I don't know if you're on my side or not. I can't seem to figure out what you're doing for me.
It seems like there's probably one bit of misinformation that trickled down to a bunch of places, and then because that would explain why DK might change it or FanDuel might change it, but it's not changed on some other sites. I don't know. That'd be my guess. The news cycle.
Either way, don't play the Braves against either one of these guys.
The news cycle also going to be very important for football, so we'll be keeping a close watch on that for inactives and stuff. Oh, Zach Jameson, the guy who broke Porcello not being in the lineup, says that he thinks you're right. So,
motherfuckers.
Case closed. Good job, everybody. We did it, Hardy Boys. We solved this case.
Okay. Kevin, thanks for being on my side, man. I was about to lose my absolute mind.
I'm surprised. The Vegas Insider thing, though, is what put me against you. Is like I was on your side until I saw that, because I do trust Vegas Insider. They usually update pitchers pretty fast, but that could be
it was literally nowhere else. That's why I just didn't trust it. Once I saw the CBS article, I was confident.
B. John asking for home runs tonight. The picks: Jake picked Manny Machado. Josh picked Brian Dozier. I am picking Matt Davidson going against Francisco Liriano, not Francisco Lindor, though. Would help his odds if he went against Francisco Lindor. We can all agree there.
Okay, so the Orioles lineup and the Mets lineup have come out, so I can do my final crunches. And by final crunches, I mean I need to hurry my ass up. I do have my final DK crunch done and entered. Orioles not a team I'm looking for, so this is not going to affect me all that much. But I do want to... Let me load up my FanDuel projections and get my crunch started, and then I'll hop back over and we can walk through everything that I have.
Apparently the odds changed for Boston, too, during that whole experience.
Crazy people.
It's probably like one reporter who didn't have it confirmed and like posted something, and then it trickled down to some sites who respond too fast and don't double check facts.
It was probably some Twitter troll asshole just breaking everyone.
Or just like I think one misguided report somewhere along the way. Who knows?
I blame Twitter trolls.
It's a real example of fake news. Who are your favorite FanDuel stacks? We haven't talked much about FanDuel.
Do we skip the part where I was doing that right now? Everybody that I have on DK, I pretty much have on FanDuel. Pricing sort of similar today. So Rockies, Angels, Nats, Red Sox. I mean, Red Sox are my favorite team of the day by far, just because no one else is on them, and I don't know, people are dumb today. Yeah, Rockies, Angels, Nats, Pirates, Dodgers, Red Sox. Those are the teams that I'm sort of mashing, and for some reason, no one's on the Red Sox. So, are you looking at the Red Sox at all?
I did not get on the Red Sox tonight. No.
Why not? Because of Newcomb?
Because of the team total and Newcomb, and I don't know. Like I think I have maybe one-off bets, one-off Martinez here and there, but nothing. I didn't stack.
Yeah, I don't get this one today. Just me and you, Jake. You're still around. Just me and you.
You know, to me, it was immediately the Cardinals and was immediately the White Sox, and like I fell in love with both those stacks, and I didn't really get there. But like Boston, to me, like I mean, I try to think about team averages, especially because we do this every day, you know, for the most part, and I'm checking them every day. Whenever the team total's that low, like they're always above 5. So the fact that it's 4 or 5 today does not fill me with hope against Newcomb.
That's reasonable.
And Newcomb's been okay. It's been okay enough. He's like an up and down pitcher, so I think, you know, I don't mind it. Let's see. Twins with a big 2.5 run total. Yeah, what are you doing with Verlander tonight?
Nothing crazy. I have him. I'll be a little bit under the field. I find him really hard to like totally avoid because of his nuclear upside, but I don't need to go like too crazy. I don't want to be with the field on him.
Yeah, I have a little bit of him, but I ended up going more to Rich Hill and Marquez for some of the reasons we've talked about before. I mean, Hill, not so much everybody else, but Hill, I think, has been doing well. I think it's shown some of the same signifiers of success that Marquez has, but obviously with less aplomb and less newsworthiness. So yeah, Rich Hill for me.
That I'm going to regret not going with more J.A. Happ. I'm just putting that out there right now. I don't have him. I know this is dumb to take a take on, or to have a take on somebody that you're not rostering. I really like where he's at today, and I wish that I could have forced him in a little bit more. He's been fine against righties. He's obviously fine against lefties, and that Oakland Park is really nice. I wish that I would have made a priority to go to J.A. Happ more today.
It's not too late, Josh.
Well, it is too late because things are not cooking really quickly from a Fantasy Cruncher perspective today because of the 15-gamer. However, Fantasy Cruncher, I still love you, Dave. Yesterday, you killed it. Ooh, so good.
Yeah, J.A. Happ, I agree with you. He burned me, I think, his last start, so that kind of threw me off him a little. But his last start was pretty bad, but his xFIP still wasn't bad. So overall, he was just kind of unlucky there, is what the numbers would seem to say. Yeah, I could see the logic in going there, especially with that total in Oakland. I think it does make some degree of sense for Happ, but yeah, not for me, not at that price. Mm-hmm.
That's like, I'm sort of interested because he's expensive and no one's touching him.
That's how I feel about Rich Hill, but I mean, he's being touched a little, but I feel like he's not being touched enough. Nobody's touching Rich Hill enough, giving him blisters.
I had a joke coming, but I'm going to eat it for right now.
Probably wherever you're going for a blister joke with Rich Hill might have been problematic.
Wasn't a blister.
Oh, interesting. Well, now we'll never know. DK equals fake news. DK does a good job. I don't want to lump them in as being a poor provider, but double check everything.
They're not a poor provider. It's that, like, getting news right is not going to be their overwhelming priority at 6:00. It's keeping their website alive.
I do think they have done a really good job of like making sure that their breaking news is almost as good as some of the other ones out there. Like I would put it on par with the Fantasy Labs breaking stuff and some of the other ones. So I don't know. I think
so. That's a great. No, that I don't disagree with. But they didn't break news. No one got a pop-up on their phone saying Rick Porcello was out or anything. People were just looking at a label on the website. And what I'm saying is that is not their priority. I don't disagree with you with them pushing stuff out. But
I agree. No, you're right.
That's not like people were just going off of this is the starting pitcher label. And that's where like I need to see it in a different way.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I actually didn't think of it that way, but they are different organizations, so you're correct in that.
Yeah. If I would have got that pop-up on my phone, I would have freaked out and put in Hector Velasquez.
Osmo gives Liriano a good value. Liriano is a good value. I mean, he's going against the White Sox. It's just, what do you want to do with it? I would rather go against him. I've watched him play. I've stacked against him a bunch. I'm very confident in him being bad again, but I could see why you go there.
It's going to be a stupid thing to say, considering I have so much Eric Fede, but I don't really see the reason to go down to Liriano today.
That is an interesting approach, given the Eric Fede couching.
I mean, it's Liriano. Look, I think Fede is not bad. If I can get these FanDuel lineups crunched, which I'm like a couple seconds from, I'll pull up Fede and we could talk about it. Just so I just need to make sure that I get these in. I don't have much to go, only like 20 more. But I'm going to let it sail after I paste this stuff in.
I would agree with you, though, that Liriano's best days are clearly behind him. And if you think Fede has anything valuable, then yeah, I think that would be a reason. I think Liriano just doesn't have any stuff anymore. And I think also now that he passed the waiver trade deadline and he's still on that roster, like, what is he even playing for?
A great question.
Like, really, why does that game even exist? Like, just get some. And also, the stupid White Sox don't bring up their prospects. Like, I forgot that kid's name, but I was reading that article about him, how his agent's like filing a protest because they're not bringing him up because of service time stuff. Whoever the White Sox top prospect is.
I don't even remember anymore.
It's some guy who's like a really nasty hitter who's, I think, from the DR. And yeah, like, they just won't bring him up because they want to control his service time. Even though, like, what are you playing for? Like, get the guy some at bats.
I'd rather control the service time. I'm pro controlling the service time.
I get you would be, because you like the numbers and the rules part of it and operating within the rules. To me, it's just like one of those where it's like, that just should change. Like,
Eloy
the lack of
Jimenez.
guarantee. That's it, Eloy. Yeah. Eloy is nasty. I was like, looked at his minor league numbers after reading that article. I was like, I'd like to play you, Eloy, but the White Sox won't let us have it. Best value outfielder 3,200 or under on DK.
Jesus, give me 1 second and we'll be able to do that.
It's a real bargain bin. Get $200 and go to Ryan Lamar, Corey Corsi.
Save that question for 30 seconds from now. Please don't start counting.
1,000.
I knew it was coming.
Cubs did that with Brian and it worked out for them. It did, but Brian also protested it. I mean, eventually, if enough of these prospects protest it, the thing that sucks is, like, I don't know how you monitor that. Like, how do you know what prospects are actually worth coming up?
You don't. They're not part of the Players Association, so fuck them.
It sucks.
It's not like the people in the majors are going to want that to happen. They want to keep their own jobs.
But I think at a certain point, like, that's sort of why MLB is in some of I mean, they feel like less dire this year, but some of the dire straits they're in with, keeping people engaged. You want those young, interesting prospects up and getting the eyes and building their profile and stuff.
All right, DK value outfielders under 3,200. I'm here now. Mm-hmm. Got my lineups in. We're good to go. Okay, this can't be right. Where are the rest of the outfielders? Oh, I guess that could be right. There's only 3,200. Jose Ozuna, I have quite a bit of. Other best value would probably be Gregor Blanco leading off for the Giants in Colorado, but he's pretty chalky. So Ozuna would be my first pick, and then probably Jabari Blash if you were looking to get weird, trying to grab a home run.
Yeah, and for me, as I said a couple seconds ago, I think add $200, find $200 somewhere, go for Ryan Lamar. I like him as part of that White Sox stack. Let's see, Hill or Marquez? If you had to make the choice, I assume you're going to go Marquez, but which would you go with?
Oh, Marquez by a mile.
Marquez isn't owned enough. Like, I think at some point we had him being higher owned than he ended up being. But I think at like under 10%, I would have to go Marquez.
He's at 6% now, and that's the highest I've seen it all day.
Really? Okay, I might have misread it earlier.
It was 1 when Jake and I did the show this morning.
All right. So Marquez, I think, is low enough owned where you don't need to get cute and avoid him. But if you're worried about cores, I could see going Hill and not having any worries about that. I think Hill's in a good spot.
Oh.
Mariners just fought each other. Like a bare knuckle boxing brawl.
Like, literally?
I don't know. They had a locker room fight, maybe? I don't know. I didn't see that bit of narrative, Will. What do you think of the D-backs? Somebody else asked about the D-backs before, and I don't think I got to it. Somebody had 20% D-backs ownership, which I think seems high. But what do you think about the D-backs tonight?
Jesus, 20% is a healthy amount. I have a little bit of them. I like them a little bit more on FanDuel than I do on DK. But So I'm over the field on FanDuel, 9% aggregate for me compared to 6 on FanDuel. I have 3% aggregate on DK compared to the 5 average.
I do not have any Diamondbacks, and I actually don't think Lucchesi is a terrible play. Like, not a guy I'm super excited about at that price, but I think he's figured out some stuff and started to make some improvements. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't play him for 8K.
Right. If you were 7, I think it's more of a consideration.
I mean, that's a guy that was like 5,000 a couple of weeks ago.
But that's because he's good now. the old Homer Bailey boost. But he's young enough where I think he's just making improvements.
Oh.
What about the Indians? We didn't talk about the Indians tonight.
I'm right with the field on DK. I kind of wish that I had more, but it just didn't happen. So, like, I have my shares. It's a lot of Lindor and Jose Ramirez, Roberto Perez on DK. So I have them. It's nothing crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, Danny Duffy to me is an okay enough player where I didn't feel the need to go against him too hard. But I could see, Cleveland's always a good stack to go to. Ownership's a little high for them, I think. And I think people aren't necessarily accounting for the fact that Danny Duffy's gotten maybe a little bit of somewhere on the Lucas Giolito scale of improving as the season's gone on.
No, I think it's the exact opposite. I think there's something wrong with Duffy.
Really? His last couple outings, 1.18 whip, not giving up home runs, strike rate's up.
I think we were talking about Duffy before the show. It was me and Laffy. His fastball velocity has dropped like 3 miles per hour. I'm pulling it up now just to make sure that I'm right.
I mean, his swinging strike rate's down, but the rest of his numbers are good, and his xFIP is kind of in line with where it should be.
Yeah, so he's at a 93.2 fastball velocity over the season. His most recent start, it was at 90.9, so 2.5 miles per hour lower. He also had a 90.1 start on August 11th. It bumped up slightly against Tampa, but only to 92.3. So his last 3 starts, his fastball velocity has been dramatically down. I'm worried that he might have an injury.
I mean, it's also the weird part of that is his hard contact is down, also substantially down to 20.7%. I don't know. Like, I feel like to me, the numbers look like he's improving. But if you're saying that to me seems like it should be more of a deliberate, like a change to his approach then. Like, if he's getting better results, but his velocity is down, I don't know. I just don't think Duffy's that bad. I think he's been competent enough where we're not trying to stack against him as much as people were earlier in the year.
Yeah, I wanted, once I knew that, I wanted to not be anywhere near him just in case his arm falls off on the first pitch.
Fair enough. All right, we're locked now. We got everything in. Bit of a chaotic show, but we make it work. It'll get easier as we go, I'm sure.
Chaotic day, man. I sat down in this chair 12 hours ago.
Yeah. And you know what? Football season's starting, so we'll have even more content. Josh and I will be live Sunday morning. There'll be also some other live content Sunday morning before the NFL slate goes. There'll be columns going up this week. I'll have a column up, which does not have a name yet. I need to think of a cute name to work with. But that'll be coming out on Thursday rather. We have content from EMAC that's already up, breaking down all the primetime games. Awesomo's rankings and ownership projections will be updated very soon this week, so keep an eye out for that. I'm sure we'll talk about them as well on the live stream when they're live. And what else do we have to plug? Do you want to do the contest plug again one more time?
Yeah, well, now that there's not comment sections under the live videos, that sort of changes things. So I'm going to change it to something else, and we'll announce it tomorrow for Friday's real announcement. But we're going to do giveaways more often. So being on live streams is going to be paramount for you to be able to participate. And it's possible that I'll just create some sort of poll that people can answer. We're just trying to get a little bit more engagement here. But we're going to start doing weekly giveaways as well. But this first one is going to be the full month. So you'll get a full month of all access. You'll get all of the NFL content, all of the baseball content for the rest of the season. So a pretty valuable time to have it.
Yeah, so get in there now. We also do have a deal going on for NFL still. NFL A20, the promo code will get you $20 off of our season-long pass. There's going to be a lot of good stuff there. We are going, I guess I shouldn't say this phrase anymore now that we're trying to be good. We are going balls deep on NFL content. I think we're really going to – I mean, look, it's okay because you can pass a football deep, I think, in this particular
Yeah, we're throwing balls deep.
Yes, we are throwing balls very deep. 40-yard bombs every single time, every week. I'm excited for week 1. I don't know if you've looked at it anymore, but I feel like I have a really good feel on it. Of course, I'll fucking be completely wrong, but
we'll start looking at it tomorrow.
Okay. Josh will start looking at it tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be Jake and I doing a live stream. We have a schedule of a ton of stuff. Josh and Jake in the morning, Josh and the process show after that, the A to B show, deeper dive will be on, and we'll be done before we start live. So we'll figure that out as well. But keep an eye on this channel. Like all the videos, subscribe, check out all the new personalities, the people you may not know. There's so much to fall in love with here at awesemo.com and our YouTube channel. Give everybody a shot. Lots of good information, lots of good and different perspectives, which is what this industry should be about, instead of just everybody parroting the same shit. So that's what all of our guys are doing. Watch, like, subscribe, and we will see you again soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.